Hello, good morning and good afternoon, as well as good evening. Today I have come with a new topic about broadcast stories. It is in BBS first year, Bachelor. And what is broadcast stories? What can be the broadcast stories? Broadcast stories are those stories which are used for the promotion of the company or the organizations. Radio and televisions are used to publicize the events, products, and the services of the company. Broadcast, and the online events on company website and other social media platforms are used in order to share it with the wider audience. Radio and television carry news, reports, and feature stories, but the broadcast has got its own limit and space. The broadcast stories are written not just for the eyes but for the ears. They need to be written concisely by telling the main points right away within 20 seconds to 2 minutes and 15 lines or 150 words per minute. It is to be avoided abstract descriptions and is to write with human focus mainly about the ideas of concrete concept. The helpful tips are stress immediacy. This is the first tips. It is to use present tense or an even simple past tense and present perfect tense. For example, I have brought the concept of the company like this, it should be there, or it is present perfect. I saw the product yesterday, that is simple past. The product is fantastic, that is simple present. Use conversational style. Another one is using of conversational style. It is to be written on conversational language so that the reader can read easily. It must be used simple and short sentences in active voice. It must be avoided using compound and complex sentences and passive voice. It means compound sentences should not be used. Passive voices should not be used. Complex sentences must not be used. Language should be quite simple. Sentences should be very short, and it must be only in active voice, and it must be in the style of conversation of a person. It needs to avoid incorrect grammar and vulgar language. Incorrect grammar is not accepted in the uh, idea of presenting broadcast stories. And vulgar language is not good for the society. Civilized and standard form of language is to be used. Another term is condense. Condense means wordiness must be avoided. Condense means concise, exact, and let's not make it quite large sharp writing and unnecessary elaboration. Wordiness must be avoided. This is the point. It must be written tight. This is called condense. Tight type of writing is called condense. The fewer the words, the better it says. Few words, but better concept. Best concept of writing. That is what is to be made. We do have less space and time in broadcast stories, right? So it must be fewer sentences, pure words, pure form of the use of language, and with the less use of space and time. Needs to strike down the adjectives and adverbs. It means adjectives and adverbs must be minimized. That must not be used. Needs to be used active voice and action verbs to cut down unnecessary words. That means we need to use even active voice, and there should be used of active verbs, action verbs, and unnecessary words should be cut down. Another tips of broadcast stories maintain clarity. Language should be quite clear. It must be written in a clear language so that the audience can listen and see. It is both listening and seeing. It is better to repeat familiar and conversational words. Needs to avoid dependent clauses. We must not use dependent clauses. We need to avoid print words. We need to avoid synonyms and figures of speech. Figures of speech means flowery language, language of literature, metaphor, conceit, simile, and all these other forms of language must be avoided. That must not be used. Right? So it must be avoided and must be made clear. Maintain clarity of the language. Maintain the clear concept of the speech. Okay. The writing. Now, another idea is broadcast story structure. What is broadcast story structure? The structure of the broadcast story contains the beginning, body, and ending. Beginning means introduction, body means body paragraphs, and ending means conclusion. It is also called as the introduction, body paragraphs, and the conclusion. Introduction is called beginning. Body paragraphs means there can be many paragraphs and even single paragraphs, and it depends upon the context and the situation, what type of writing it is going to be, and even the conclusion must be there, right? And conclusion is called ending. In introduction, there must be general statement, and it must contain the answer of what and who did what, plus where and when. All these forms should be used. These are some of the context, some of the ideas. That is what introduction must contain. And in introduction, there must be thesis statement. There must be topic sentence also. And all the ideas must be introduced in introduction. The body paragraphs need to draw the supporting points and arguments of the introductory idea or of the topic sentence or the thesis statement. That means in introduction there must be topic sentence. That topic sentence means the thesis statement. And that topic sentence or the thesis statement must be supported by the other in this paragraphs, body paragraphs. Ending is called wrap up or tie back to the thesis statement or the topic sentence. Ending means conclusion. That means a summary, or it is summing up, a wrap up, or it is also known as tie back to the thesis statement or the topic sentence of the introduction. In introduction, there is generally topic sentence. In introduction, there is a thesis statement, and main ideas are there in introduction that must be summarized, that must be restated in another language, in our own language, that is called ending. Now, uh, I'm going to talk about blocks. What is blocks then? What can be blocks? There is a question mark about blocks. In fact, blog is nothing but it is a kind of website. It is a platform of social media. It is the place where we can put number of articles, electronic articles, and even ideas about positive and negative aspects. Some of the people have become well known in the world because of blogs. Blogs become the source of becoming greater form or better form of just sharing ideas and thoughts in the world. Malala Yousafzai put that one, used the blog and became the well known throughout the world. And her idea was one pen, one book, one pen and book, and one student and one teacher can change the world. This was her slogan. This was her concept. That concept was put in the blog. And by putting that blog in her personal blog, she brought a kind of revolution in the world. And when she was shot by the Taliban and she was supported by the global citizens. So blog is a website and that contains online journal, personal journal with reflection and comments. It is an electronic journal, and it can be the diary of information age. An individual article or post enter in the web is called a blog entry. There must be blog entry. A weblog is a website. Its main function is to offer a regularly updated and chronological diary of an individual on a topic and with the reader's comments. The different elements of the blog are there. Blog contains different elements, different types of forms of elements. And the title is, now there is a title in the blog. In any writing there is a title. So title is the headline of the diary entry, headline of any writing, headline of any information that we write. And another idea, second idea is called abstract. And this abstract means in the writing of the blog, generally there is abstract. In abstract is a summary of the total idea what we are going to write. Abstract is a short description of the entry, short description of the complete idea of the context, what it is and what it can be. Another one is a body, and body is again the same idea of body paragraph, main paragraph, right? Body contains the main content of the post and occupies most of the space in the entry. It must be addressing the target audience and must be telling something interesting and useful. It needs to be short and simple, right? But it needs to be short as well as simple. Another one is a post date. When we post there in the blog, there comes a kind of date, and that date is always mentioned or reflected, displayed in the post date. So post date is the date and the time the post was published, when it was published, and that date who posted it. All those ideas are there in the post date. And comes the comments. Comments in the blogs are the comments of the readers left out on about certain entry. Generally, readers read and then they comment there, and their commentaries remain within that blog. So another idea is categories. Categories are the typical subjects we regularly write about in our blog. Categories can be politics, it can be geography, it can be food items, it can be any such type topics. It can be just classified there in the category. And we can just keep the categories. We can learn even the categories in the blog. Another one is permalink. This is the web address of the full individual entry who has just entered or posted it. And it is possible to go to the direct part of the article through the permalink. We don't just, there is a link from that permalink. We can go, or the readers can go to the direct part of the articles. Another one is track back and pin back. This is another idea. These are the links to other sites that refer to our entry, what sort of entry it is. And then RSS means rich site summary feed. This is RSS. Okay, and then is the parts of blog, and the readers can subscribe to it. Through RSS, readers can subscribe in it. It alerts them when you make a new post. When new post comes and that alert notification comes there, and then it can be subscribed there. The only one text is not enough for a blog entry. The very concept of blog entails adequate use of the variety of tools and applications that come with the blogging platform. Blogs are the source of getting information on various topics and subjects, right? They are the source of getting information on various topics and even on subjects, various subjects. It is a worldwide means of organizational promotion source, and it can also be the platforms for the academic activities for the learners and the organizational activities at the interest and need of the audience. What the goods or products or services are given. All those informations are put in the blogs. So blog is very important idea for the social media, for the upliftment of the company or the organization and making the organization better. So blogs is always used by large number of people throughout the world. Yes, these are some of the ideas about the blogs and other concept. Thank you. You can read it.